Good evening and welcome to the Idea Creativity Workshop hosted by the eHub and Entrepreneurs Hub, where we believe that it is very essential for us to ensure that as a village or as an African continent, we build budding and inspiring entrepreneurs. You see, if it takes a village to raise a child, it definitely also does take a business or a hub like this to raise a business. This afternoon, we are joined by a fantastic facilitator who will help us as businesses, especially in these tough times, to be able to find our way when we're dealing with challenges to do with entrepreneurship. The journey of entrepreneurship is definitely not easy, but it is made worthwhile, especially if your mind is buzzing with ideas. And this is why we as the E have decided to partner with our facilitator this afternoon to share with us how best we can create these ideas. Because I know for myself, sometimes I do get to experience a challenge when it comes to a mental block because I've run out of ideas. Do you feel the same? And thank you so much for joining us, whether you're joining us on Facebook or you're joining us on the Zoom platform. Welcome, and I hope you enjoy this platform and enjoy this initiative as well as what it has to offer. As you take notes, feel free to tweet to us at eHubCoza or on LinkedIn or wherever you are on Facebook. Feel free to use the hashtags eHub Entrepreneurship Ideas Innovation as you see fit. Tag us and let us know what it is that is coming through. And most especially, if you have questions, feel free to type them in the chat box and our facilitator will definitely get to them in no time. Without wasting time, let me introduce you our facilitator for this evening or for this session. Someone who I've gotten to know as a friend, as a colleague. We've worked together for a number of years. And this time, he's a man who wears many hats, literally and definitely figuratively. He has been involved in a number of projects that have been innovative, and most especially, they've come to become a success. But most out of what I enjoy about him, and specifically to this course, he's an Edward de Bono creativity trainer who obtained the Innovation Management Certificate from the Stanford University, but also was the Innovation Champion at Standard Bank in 2014 and received the Best Innovative Idea at the Standard Bank IT Innovative Challenge in 2014 as well. And as you may be on the lookout, you must see him working on a fintech idea as part of his Alpha Code Explore program. Please, with a lovely round of applause, wherever you are comfortable enough, help me welcome Gaoretelelwe Molebalwa.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Andrew. Thank you very much. I'm going to share my slides with everyone. However, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with a question because today we are looking at innovation as driven by creativity. Innovation as driven by creativity. Now, before I get to what I have prepared today, I would like to ask everyone in the room to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. How creative are you? You can just send a message on the chat, just on a scale of 1 to 10. How creative are you? On a scale, if you were to rate yourself, okay, Lindy says 5. That's awesome. That's lovely. That's creative. Let's hear what others or how others rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. How creative. Wow, Antoinette, 9. That's fantastic. Becky, 7. TM Helio, 3. Wow, wow. Now, I'll also share the reason why I'm asking this question. It's because I'm going to be sharing tools. I'll be sharing tools with you that I believe will raise your creativity quotient. At the end of this session, we'll go through this exercise again and check if you have grown from the session. Now, there come times in your life where you are faced with the challenge of thinking outside the box or coming up with new ideas. We are often told, think out of the box. And we never given the tools as to how can I think out of the box. Yes, thinking out of the box is a great thing to do. However, how do you do it? Are there tools that one can use? Today, we are going to look at such tools. The tools that I refer to as creativity tools for ideators. Now, ideators are people that come with ideas. And if you want to be an innovator, you'll have to implement an idea. Innovation is the implementation of a creative idea. That is a definition by Stanford University. To say you do not have an innovation until a creative idea has been implemented. Before you have implemented an idea, now it begins with an idea. There are two things that you are going to look at, or rather two tools. The first tool is a tool that you can use when you have an idea and you want to use it to generate new ideas. Now, one would ask, why would I want to use an existing idea as a base? As the reason would be, as an entrepreneur, sometimes you can see that there is an industry that is lucrative, that is good, that is attractive, that you want to enter. However, you don't necessarily want to copy. You can use the tools, that the ideas that are already in the market to come up with something to serve the same market. That could be the reason for that. Or the other reason is that you have clients, they are complaining about your product and you want to make your product better. That would be a reason to want to start with something and build out of it. That will be the first tool that we are going to look at. And then the second tool that we are going to look at is sometimes you get stuck. You want to come up with ideas, but every time you just come with the same thing over and over again. Now, this tool forces you to think outside your normal way of thinking, outside your comfort zone. That will be the second tool that we'll look at later today. Now, let's shoot straight to the first tool. Let's go straight to the first tool. I'm also looking at the chart at the same time. At any given time, if you have a question or you would like to contribute, you can send through to the chat. I will look at it and respond to keep this as interactive as possible. There will be an opportunity for us to do activities. I will enable you to speak during the course of the session, to participate. Now, the first tool that we are going to look at is called Scamper. It's called Scamper. This tool is a tool that, as I said, you use to generate ideas from existing ideas. Now, Scamper is a checklist exercise. S stands for something. You do a checklist. You have an idea or a product. Maybe if you have a product that you would like us to use as a base, you can send it on the chat, and then we can use that product as the base to come up with other ideas. I have another product that I have prepared. We can use two products at the same time. So you start with a product, and then you go with S, you do the checklist, you do C, checklist, A, all the way to R. Now we'll start. I think you are itching to learn what S is all about. So before getting to S, there's a company that you may be aware of that actually started as a pharmaceutical business. And because of listening to their clients, after some time, they introduced a product that you may be familiar with. And I believe that they've used a similar tool to come up with this product. We will get into it shortly. With time, they introduced another product that you may be familiar with, which is called Coca-Cola Life. Yes, Coca-Cola started as a pharmaceutical business, but eventually they got into soft drinks. Now, how did they do that? Maybe that's the question that you are having. They used a tool like this, the tool called Scamper. Let's begin with the first product that I have. I'll also wait for another product that you may be having on your site, share on the chat. But let's look at a product called Smarties. Are you familiar with this product? Do you know this product? Anyone familiar with the product?
Pretty familiar with the product.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. I think there's a couple of people familiar with the product. Actually unmuted everyone. I'm just trying to mute all. So I was trying to get it to participate. Andrew, can I ask you to assist me to everyone? I've made you a co-host. Okay, so we are familiar with this product called Smarties. Now let's start here. This tool is used this way. The first thing that you do is S. S stands for substitute. When you're given a product like when you having a product like Smarties or any other product that you may be having, I believe that people in this room are entrepreneurs, or some would like to be entrepreneurs, or you are faced with challenges of thinking outside of the box every now and then. Now, I'm going to take you through the journey with the Smarties product on how to actually use this tool to come up with new ideas. Makatlela, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself and speak. I see you have your hand up. You can unmute yourself and talk and then mute yourself. Makatlela? Okay, I'll proceed. So the first is substitute, S. Now, what do you do with this product? You ask yourself this question. What materials or resources can I substitute or swap to improve this product? Let's just go back to the product, which is Smarties. You have the Smarties. It has a chocolate inside and shell outside. Looking at this product, you ask yourself, what can I substitute to improve the product or to make a new product out of Smarties? Now, maybe before I give you an answer particularly to this product, let me ask any participant to unmute and share. What is it that you can replace on a Smarties to create another form of a sweet? Anyone? Going once, going twice? Okay, Becky?
Replace the chocolate. I'd replace the chocolate inside with sort of a marshmallow kind of a sweet.
Aha, you can replace the chocolate with a marshmallow. So what you are doing there, you are substituting chocolate with a marshmallow, and then you get a different product. That is the substitute. Now, Smarties has done this before. There is another form of Smarties called Fruity, where instead of the chocolate, they replaced the chocolate with a fruit and created a new product. The reason I chose Smarties is I know Smarties has been using Scamper in coming up with new products. Now, this is how you would use S, or rather the substitute. And you can even substitute the shell with something else to create a new product. Now, before I continue, to the next checklist, or rather the next alphabet. Let me just check. You can respond on the chat. You can respond by unmuting yourself. Does that process make sense of using substitute to create a new suite out of the existing Smarties? Unmute yourself and say yeah, no. Makes sense. Thanks a lot, Becky. Now, the second one in this process is called combine. We started with S, which is substitute. The second one is called combine. Now, the question that you ask yourself in generating the idea, now the trick here is the questions that you ask yourself. The question will be, what would you combine Smarties with to create something new? What would you combine Smarties with to create something new? Let's hear ideas. What would you do? I'm opening it up to you again. Becky, would you like to jump in again and maybe share what do you think you can combine Smarties with to generate something else out of Smarties?
Still thinking.
Still thinking. Still thinking. Let's someone else, Harry. Do you want to give it a try? The question says, what would you substitute? What would you combine the current one that we are having with? What can you add? Okay, let me just give an example. You can add ice cream and Smarties, you'll get a product, right? Yes, no? Let's hear the chart. You can jump in and talk anytime. If you take ice cream, you take Smarties, you combine them. Would you get a product? Yes, no? You definitely get a product. And this is exactly what Smarties has done as well, Nestle, the company. They use the same tool to come up with different products from the Smarties as a product. Yes, Becky, you can say something.
No, nothing. I don't know. I think I unmuted by mistake.
Okay, no problem.
Hi, Carl.
Yes.
Yes, this is Frank. One of my favorite combinations is a combination of Coke and ice cream, and it creates what they call a Coke float. And every time I go to Namibia, I look forward to that.
Oh, Coke float. Wow, that's I've never heard of it. I mean, you know, I'm not a big Coke fan like you, but yeah, definitely that's the kind of things that you would do to take an existing product and combine it with something else. Thanks for the input, Frank. And the other thing is, as much as we are focusing on a product, we can do the same on a service or a process. Sometimes our customers are complaining about our service. So sometimes you just need to add something to your service. Or even with substitute, you can substitute something from your service to offer a better service. Harry, yes, you can talk. And Antoinette came up also there to say, make ice cream sandwiches with Smarties mixed into the ice cream. And she also mentioned the Coke float. Now that's the combine. That's the combine. And then as we continue with this tool, the next thing is called add. The next thing, adapt. The next thing is called adapt. Now with this, here is the question. I'm going to ask the question and you can jump in with your attempt to answering the question. How could you readjust this product to serve another purpose or another use? Did you get the question? Lindy, I'll get back to your question. Note that. Let's try this adapt at the moment. How could you readjust your Smarties to serve another purpose or another use? Anyone come, you can send through the chat, or you can unmute yourself, jump in and say, this is how I would readjust the Smarties. Okay, now Lindiwe says, can you give an example of adding something to the service? I'm going to try to think of a service quickly, and then we're going to add something to service. I will also appreciate assistance if there's any service that you are aware of. Okay, one service is you build software for people. That's something that I normally do. That's why I can think of that. You build software for people, and you want to differentiate yourself. You can combine that building of software with offering people advice. To say, as much as you want a website like this, it will be better if it's like this. So you are adding to the service that you are already offering. You're adding advice as another service to an existing service. Lindiwe, does it answer your question? You can comment back on the chat, or you can, oh, thanks. Let's now continue with the adapt. Let's go to see what Smarties have done with adapt. They looked at other products out there that, oh, there are chicks, right? So I can actually take this same, it's the same product because it's the shell and the chocolate, but we make it to look like something else. Now it can be sold for Easter, right? It can be used in a different market. So you are adapting the same product to tap into a different market. And you would use this method if, like, you are in COVID-19, there's a company that was doing alcohol delivery. They have recently pivoted to deliver food because they have got a service, but they cannot offer the product that they were doing. Their service is delivery. So they thought, instead of delivering alcohol, because we can't sell alcohol, let's rather deliver food. So that is another way of adapting a service. Let me open it up to you to try to apply it to any other thing else other than Smarties. Lindiwe, do you want to try? Give it a shot. Makhatela? Yes, Lindiwe, you can unmute yourself and share.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am selling the health products. So most of the products that I was selling was face-to-face. So what I have done now, I've created a website for my people to actually order online, and then whereby they can actually get delivery instead of me going face-to-face to going and deliver to them. I don't know if that's correct. Example.
That's perfect. That's correct. It for me also, it sounds more of a substitute. So what you are substituting there is the delivery method. To say the delivery method was face-to-face, I'm going to substitute it with online, right? And it does apply to adapting to a different environment, but it's more of a substitute than of an adapt. But that's actually an awesome way of using a tool like this. And let me also maybe ask you, Lindiwe, were you using this tool when you were doing that? How did you come with that idea?
No, I wasn't using the tool, because what I did is I would send a WhatsApp message to my customers to say, another way you can still get your products is so what I did, it was that creation of a website, and then I shared the link. So when I share the link, people, they can go in directly, they order, but then it will notify me that maybe Antoinette is now my registered customer. So going forward, even post-COVID, Antoinette can still continue to order, obviously at a delivery fee, you know, as compared to Lindy we're delivering to them.
Wow. Wow. No, that's awesome. Now, let me just ask one last question before I continue with the next checklist. If you had this tool, Lindy, would it have made your life easier?
I think so, because I actually started that now during COVID, and I actually regret that maybe if I would have started it earlier, I would have been doing both the services at the same time, because now people still need to start to adjust to the new method. And if they have known about it a little bit earlier, then it was going to be easy. I wouldn't be worried, you know, by saying, okay, let's teach you, because some people are not computer, you know, savvy. Yes, yeah. So I actually regret, I must be honest.
Oh, thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the honest feedback. The reason I'm asking this is I believe that as entrepreneurs, we need to have a culture of creativity. We should not wait for COVID-19 to be creative, but it should be part of our organizational strategy to say, we are a creative organization. And this is something that should be ongoing. Every week or every month, you should have a scamper board to say, how can we be better? What can we introduce to the market? And that should also be directed by what the clients are saying, but we shouldn't wait. It should be part of our day-to-day of how we run our organizations. And thank you very much for that. I'll go straight to the next check, which is the M. Now the M is the modify. Modify. Now with modify, the question that you ask yourself is, what could you add to modify this product? Or this question, how could you change the shape, the look or feel of your product? I believe you had the question. I'm going to open it up again for you to give an attempt in modifying the Smarties. We are still dealing with Smarties for now. I would like you to try and modify the Smarties. Let's hear someone different. Monde. Just try to respond to this question, Monde. How could you change the shape, the look or feel of Smarties? How could you change the shape, look or feel of the Smarties? Monde?
Yebo.
Yes.
Sorry, my audio was playing tricks. I think, goodness, what a question. I think I might add maybe a certain design, make them really smileys, but still smarties, by just adding a design on the actual Smarties itself. Maybe to even imitate certain emojis that are around already, but fun, happy emojis. That's top of my head. That's just how I'm thinking about it.
I like that. I like that. And the other thing that I like is that there is an element of challenge in terms of coming up with this thing. Don't worry. The tool that it's okay. It's okay. The next tool that we are going to work on will assist with that. Because what you can do, you can use the two tools at the same time. You can ask yourself a question and use the next tool to answer the question. So don't worry. For now, let's just struggle along. Let's struggle along. Let's struggle along.
Cool.
Someone else, Ntokozo, would you like to give it a try? Oh, yes, Andrew.
Okay, this is Frank. I've stolen Andrew's phone. So Coke is another example. So at one point, they had those pet drinks they were selling, and obviously they started being taxed for sugar. And in order to maintain the same price, they maintained the same price and reduced the size of their bottling. And that's an example of modification. And maybe another form of modification, which may duly apply as adaptation, is, as you may know,
Coca-Cola in South Africa, like in the United States and many other parts of the world, are no longer selling the original Coke because of sugar laws in the countries. So they've obviously adapted that to national policies in certain areas. So maybe when you go to Mozambique, you still find the original Coke because of no sugar laws there. But when you come to South Africa, they've adapted it, which may also apply as modification. And maybe that's also a bit of a question on your side to say, can one change be viewed as more than just one of these adaptation, modification, or substitution in any form?
You are right there, Frank. You can actually have one change that is both combined and modification. Because because modification talks about also size. Sometimes to make it bigger, you want to add an additional ingredient. So that change you'll be applying two at the same time. That is correct. And let me also say something that I didn't say in the beginning. At the moment, we are just going through this without an end goal. We don't have anything to achieve. Now, Frank raised something very important to say, Coke changed the shape of the bottle. There could be a reason to say people are struggling to handle the bottle. So the reason there is a marketing reason, because you want people to handle it, feel comfortable with it, so they buy more. So you would also use this tool to achieve a certain goal. It's not like just random. You want to achieve a certain goal. You say, okay, I want to enter a new market, or I want to comply, or I want to do this. But for now, we'll just answer the question as possible as we can, but bear in the back of your mind that when applying this tool, you will be having an end goal. You will be having where you want to be. I'm here, I want to be there. I want to enter a new market. I want to comply, or I want to do this. Then it becomes easier also to answer the questions. Let's see what the Smarties company did. So they've introduced actually two products. There's Giant Smarties, I don't know if you are aware of, and there are mini Smarties. So they didn't really change anything. They changed the size. There are those big ones for people that want the more chocolate, because the Giant Smarties are nothing but just more chocolate. And then there are the mini ones for people that they just want a little bit of the chocolate. So that's what the Smarties company did. Now let's move on and look at our next one. It's called P under the Scamper. P is put to other use. Put to other use. Let me ask the question again. Can you use this product somewhere else? Perhaps in another industry. Can you use Smarties somewhere else? Perhaps in another industry. Think also in terms of your product. Can you use it somewhere else in a different industry? Sometimes your product just needs to be sold in a different country. Maybe this country is not ready for it. Now, this question will help you actually to consider those kind of things. Now, let me take the question back to you and ask you to attempt to answer it. Antoinette said, as medicine tablet for kids. So you are changing the target market, right? You are applying to a different target market. Someone else trying, Becky, yes, jump in.
Yeah, bakers, people who bake cakes.
Yes.
They usually use it, yes. So bakeries.
Oh, using Smarties for baking.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's actually using this. So now you will be having a different target market, and maybe you will reduce your packaging cost because they buy in bulk. You don't have to package in small boxes, right? So you are putting your current product to a different use. Let's hear other ideas. Makatlela, you can jump in there as well. Respond to the question. Lindua says in beverages. Lindua, can you jump in and share how would you put it into the beverages use?
I think when you do your, whether it's at the restaurant or do your, somebody mentioned something about the float coke, then you can hold it in there, or even
Okay.
at home if you're doing your smoothies, because sometimes the children, they love the smoothies, they love the sweets, but you can mix it in your fruit, in your blend with the fruit juices, and then you put it in there. At least there's not too much of the sugar in there. You've got the fruits as the healthy part, and then a little bit of jankinyana of the Smarties, but you still have that taste. Unlike chowing the Smarties alone. I don't know.
Okay, okay. I think that's definitely an example of putting it to another use. And you've also used combine at the same time, which is awesome. I'll just go a little bit to Antoinette's example. Antoinette, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you are saying as you are going to add some other ingredients, which is medicine, to the Smartie as it is, and give it to kids because they already love it. Is that correct? Is that how you will use it as tablets for kids? Antoinette? Okay, we'll proceed and check. Use it as a decoration at a party. Let's see what these guys did with it. I believe you've seen this, the Smarties house. That's also part of making it fun. Yeah, Antoinette, I see. Are you not able to jump onto the mic? I see you're typing. Are you not able to jump onto the mic? There's nothing wrong with that though. And then we go to the last two. The first one is E. E is called eliminate. I think eliminate will be very easy to participate without the question. But let me ask the question. What features, parts, rules could you eliminate? What features, parts, rules could you eliminate from the product? There's something that you can eliminate, and sometimes eliminate can be as a reason of trying to save cost, but that shouldn't always be the reason. I mean, sometimes you are wasting, but sometimes you are putting things that people do not want. I'll give you an example. You are creating cakes, and you want to tap into the market of people that do not want to consume sugar, maybe the diabetics. Now you would need to eliminate something for that. It's not really about cutting costs, but it's about tapping into another market. So let's hear, what would you do to the Smarties? I would like to hear what you would do to the Smarties. But please don't remove chocolate. But let's hear, what are you going to do? I'm kidding, you can remove the chocolate. Anyone, you can unmute and jump in. Yes, Makatlela, that counts as eliminate, reduce the number of glucose. That is, Monde, yes, jump in.
Yes, I really am not sure. I'm venturing out here. Does it fall under eliminate if I say eliminate the perception that it's for kids only?
Now, that is 100% right. Remember when I said you can apply this tool not only to the product. Now you're applying the tool to the marketing of the product. That is 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you are applying it to the marketing. Remember, you can apply this thing to product, service, processes, or whatever the case may be.
Oh,
now,
okay.
Yeah, now you are wearing the head of the marketing manager to say people have a wrong perception. How can we eliminate that? Now, the next tool will also help answer that question. How can we eliminate that? Antoinette says there are lots of colorants text into the chocolate. So I assume or believe that Antoinette says we must reduce the colorants, eliminate the colorants. And by so doing, we may tap into a different market, which is the health conscious, which is awesome, right? So we reduce the colorants, we tap into the health conscious. Remember, you are driven by a goal. If the goal is, how can we sell Smarties to the health conscious? This will be an awesome one. let's see what they have done. They actually stole the color and they gave us black and white Smarties. So they just eliminated the color and gave us the black and white Smarties. It's still the Smarties without the color. You can even see the guy there with the bag full of color. So that is one way to do that. The other way is to remove the chocolate and just have the shell. I don't think it's the awesome one for me in particular. Maybe for you, you would love to have the chocolate removed. Let's look at the last one. The last checkbox is called reverse. Reverse. Now the question is, how could you reorganize this product? You have this product is organized in a certain way. Simple example, you've got the shell outside and the chocolate inside. That is how it's organized. Maybe let's look at a process. You've got step 1, step 2, step 3. That's how the process is organized. You can start with step 2, step 3, and then step 1. That's how you reorganize the steps. Now the question is, how can we reorganize this product? Let's hear ideas. Let's hear ideas. Carol, would you like to give it an attempt? Would you like to give it a try? How can we reorganize it? Harmony? Vusi, would you like to give this one a try? How can we reorganize a Smartie? You may apply it to another one, not necessarily Smartie. Just apply the R, the reverse.
Can I come in?
Yes, please. Yes, please. You'll join in after Vusi. Yes.
Okay, Vusi.
No, go in, Radiant Goddess. Vusi will be after you.
All right, with the Smarties, when you lick the Smarties, you take off the color and you get the white and then the chocolate. So you can reverse and have the Smarties being white, so you don't know what the color inside would be. So when you lick off the white, you get the color only then.
Wow, this is, I wouldn't have thought of it. Wow, this is awesome. That brings an element of fun. Okay, yeah, I think that brings an element of fun.
Yes.
A question by Makhatlela there. Do you have to reorganize just the contents? No, Makhatlela. Let's hear what you would like to reorganize. It's okay, Vusi. I saw your message. Okay, so what you are going to do, so you can shape the box into different designs. So you are actually reorganizing the packaging. And let's also talk about what Makhatlela is raising there, reorganizing the packaging as opposed to the actual sweet. What you are the question that you could be addressing is the question of how easy is it to open it? You know, sometimes you open the wrong side, but there's not necessarily wrong side, but you could be answering a marketing question. There could be an underlying question that you are answering. So yes, you can do that, Makhatlela. You can reverse generate the packaging. So that is the tool that I call Scamper. That is the tool. At this point, I had planned that we are going to do an exercise, but I'm going to leave the exercise to the end. I want us to go straight to the next tool. And then at the end, we are going to have an exercise where we are going to work on few ideas in different groups. Now, as you would see, this is one way where they reversed it. They took the shell, put it inside, and the chocolate, put it outside. So that is how the Smarties was reorganized. Now, like I said, I wanted us to do a group assignment here, but I'm going to change this a little bit and move to the next tool. I'll move straight to the next tool. Now, this tool, like I was saying earlier, it's a tool that we use to answer a question. Now, what I did not prepare a question for this one. We are going to come up with a question together. When we were answering some of the questions during the Scamper, there were other questions that I said we will answer later when we do the next tool. Can maybe one share a question that you want us to address as we learn this tool? Just come up with one challenge. It doesn't necessarily have to be this one. You can take the challenge that you are having as your company and use this opportunity to solve that problem. So maybe you have a challenge as a company, a question that you don't know how to answer. Type it on the chat or say it loud, and let's use this tool. As we're learning it, we'll be solving that question. Anyone can jump in. It can be a real problem that you are facing as an organization, as a person, how to get your kids to wash the dishes, maybe, whatever the case may be. No one wants to take that advantage of having their problem solved. How to retain the customers. How to retain the customers. That is the question that Lindiwe asked. Now, I would like you, because I'm not going to outline the steps, but take a pen, and as we go through the steps, you'll just write the step 1, this is what you do. Step 2, this is what you do. So this tool we are going to use, let me also write this question in case I miss it. How to retain the customers. Now, what you do is you take a problem, this is step 1. You take a problem and you reframe this problem in how may we kind of a question. So the question that came here is how may we retain our customers? We are going to reframe that question as how may we retain the customers? That is the first step. The first thing that you do, you reframe the question into a how may we question. Antoinette asked another question here. How do you find out what people want? How do you find out what people want? What you need to do with that question, you reframe it. So one way to reframe this question is to say, how may we get people to be open with what they want? That's one way to reframe it. One thing to be careful is when you reframe it, it should mean the same thing for you. Like the question should remain the same. You shouldn't change, but it should be reframed to how may we? How may we get what people want? How may we? But we are going to use Lindiwe's question, the how may we retain the customers? Have you got the first step? I believe everyone got yes. Now, what we are going to do next is to pick a random word. Step 2, pick a random word. You can pick any random word and type it on the chart. Any random word, type it on the chart. That is the next, that is the next step. That's step 2. Anyone, do you want to give us a random word? Any random word. Yeah, Becky, that is really random. That is really random. I think I will not to say I don't like your word, Becky. I will lean more towards to achieve. But we can use any word, any word. So Dineo came up with a word achieve. We are going now, step three. Step three, we go back to our original question, but now we are going to reframe it again. We are going to reframe the question again using the random word. Now, this is how we are going to reframe it. The question will go, how may we use achieve to retain customers? You put that random word there. How may we use achieve to retain the customers? Has everyone got the question? How may we use our random word? So our random word in this case is achieve. How may we use achieve to retain the customers? Then what happens next? We answer this question. We don't answer the first question. We answer the question with the random word. We answer the question with the random word. It is a little bit difficult to answer this question, but when we get into the flow, it will become easy. I'm going to open up to anyone to attempt to answer this question. The question says, how may we use achieve? Here, achieve is a tool that you are going to use, right? How may we use achieve to retain customers? Anyone, you can jump in on the chat or you can unmute and talk. How may we use achieve to retain the customers? Are we still together? Vusi, I believe now you can participate because we all started. It's a new one, it's not related to the first one. You can help us answer
Still trying to think, but you know, in a sense of achievement, I don't know. I think it would have been best if I got a context, but it really depends on what you are selling, and in such instances, if you use something that is results oriented, then the word achieve may be quite useful in the retention of your customer. In terms of products, I'm not quite sure how will that help, you know, unless the product itself it's used in a sporting or in a way that it's geared towards making sure that the customer or the consumer is achieving a certain result.
Yeah, I think what you are thinking in the right direction. I think you are understanding the question. I'm going to share one example of how to use achieve. And I will also use the chips as an example, because the chips is easy to use, but it's not the only word that you can use. But I'll also use it. But I'll start with achieve. What we can do is that every time a customer buys, we treat that as an achievement by keeping that on record. That's one way. And after 10 purchases, they will get that for free. That's one way we can use achieve. So your buying is an achievement and we record it down. And eventually after 10 achievements, you get that product for free. That's how you can use achieve to retain your customers. It may not necessarily make sense immediately. Let's go and look at chips. Chips are easy. Every time someone comes and buy, we give them chips. We are using chips to retain customers, right? So chips are easy. Now, I'm opening it up to you again, but I want us to use the difficult word achieve, because it will just force us to think how we wouldn't think under normal circumstances. And that is the reason for the random word. It forces us to think differently. So let's hear what would you do? How would you answer this question? I gave one example. Every time someone buys, we treat that as an achievement and we record it down. After 10 purchases, they get that for free. How would you use achieve to retain customers? Let's give it a try. Dineo, would you like to try?
It's difficult. So I'm thinking about a cleaning company.
Yes.
So at the end of cleaning, let's say now we come to you and we clean your house for you. At the end of the service, we would score you according to the achievement that maybe when we did consultation, first time when we come into your house, you showed us all the dirty areas that needed to be cleaned. So, and then we give you a score that, okay, looking at your house, we have 30 things to obstacles. We've got curtains to clean, windows, your oven, and so forth. So after each time, we reduce the score that at the end of the service, we say, we write a note, thank you, Mrs. Who you and I, we've achieved this score, meaning the workload has decreased. So it looks like we're achieving what the client ultimately wants. I don't know if it makes sense.
That makes sense. So what I'm picking up from what you are saying there, Dineo, is you are actually recognize what you have achieved. Is that
yes,
correct?
Yes. Sometimes you cannot sell it as you sell the achievement. You tell them what they have achieved. You conscientize your clients of what they've achieved by purchasing your services. That's what I think.
Okay, no, that's great. Maybe just adding to what you said, another thing that you can do is you can post it on Facebook to say, look at this is what an achievement. It's now an awesome house, right? So the person actually now has bragging rights. They have achieved something by using your service. How's that, Dineo?
Sounds great. Sounds good.
Oh, awesome. Let's hear what others would say. Okay, Harmony says meeting the deadline as a measure of achievement. Meeting the deadline as a measure of achievement. And we are going to use that to retain customers. So that's great. I think maybe Harmony, one thing that we can add there, just so that the retaining of customers can be tangible, is what do you do after meeting deadlines? Maybe you celebrate it as well. What do you think there, Harmony? So if someone has met the deadline, or maybe explain what you mean by the meeting the deadline. Who's meeting the deadline here? Is it the client or is it you delivering on time? Harmony? Oh, okay. So what Harmony is saying there is, as the supplier, meet the deadline. And that is a way of measuring achievement. So don't say I'm going to deliver on Thursday and deliver on Friday. If you do that, if you achieve that, then you will retain client. And that for me, I would also be retained as a client. If someone deliver on their promises, that's actually an achievement. So you are using achievement to retain clients. Does it make sense? I think maybe now it's starting to make sense to others. I would like to hear more people contributing. Let's hear more people. Antoinette says, ask how your customers can achieve more with your product. I like that. Now, what Antoinette is saying there is customer engagement. Is customer engagement. So you don't just give solutions, but you also engage your customers. Ask how customers can achieve more. So you are using the achieve there, right, to retain customers. Does that make sense? Keep them coming, keep them coming. This is one tool that it's fun because it takes the comfort zone out of, out of us. It kicks the comfort zone altogether. And I love the choice of word. It's a difficult word to try to use, but if we challenge ourselves to use it, then we come up with ideas. That's how we ideate using this tool. Yes,
if I may ask, sometimes marketing has to do with how you phrase your statement to communicate to a certain target market. You may, for example, want to communicate the concept of achievement, but not necessarily use that word. Can you then consider synonyms that are synonymous to achievement?
Please.
In the
Yes.
context of the product or service that you're offering? Just a question out there.
Yes, yes.
All right.
So you can, I mean, synonym, it's just that, it's the same thing. But don't also lose the purpose of this exercise. The real reason behind this tool is to force you to think. Now, if we make life easy also on the other side, we are not forced to think. And there's a methodology here. We are given a question. All we need to do is to answer this question. It's a question presented in front of us. All we need to do is to answer it. And that's how you come up with ideas that you would not necessarily come up with. Now, the next thing after, so what you'll be doing in your team, you'll be coming with a lot of answers, maybe 100 answers. Now, this is the next step. Write this next step down. Now, you come up with a new question from the questions that your answers. I'm going to take one answer by Antoinette. Ask how your customers can achieve more with your product. Now, what you're going to do with this question is ask this question. Listen to the question. What are we really doing when we are doing this? That is the question you ask. I'm going to repeat this. It won't be obvious the first time. So when the question comes that Antoinette asked, ask how your customers can achieve more with product or service. Then you ask this question, what are we really doing when we are doing this? I'm going to give you the answer. The answer is we are engaging customers. Did you get that? We are engaging customers. Now, what you do now with that answer, you ask the follow-up question. How else can we engage customers? Then you come up with new answers. Did you hear that? Let's hear if you heard what I just said. What I'm going to do is to ask Lindiwe. Thanks, Becky. Beautiful. You'll join after Lindiwe. Lindiwe, I just need you to explain this new step. How you understand the new step that I've just communicated now.
Thank you. I'm just thinking here in terms of engaging the customers. We're sending short messages to the customers about the product form part of it. For an example, you know, when you eat your, did you know, your chappies, there is that thing that says, did you know?
Yes.
Maybe you can take and say, did you know that if you, what is one thing that we do every day? Brushing your teeth. Did you know that brushing your teeth with this product can help you do. So you put in an extra benefit from something that they were already using, but maybe some of them were not aware of it. I don't know. Then you're engaging them. Maybe, I'm trying to think. Maybe find a platform whereby you can let your customers talk back to you because you want them to engage. Or maybe hold in a question, I don't know.
Yeah, so Lindy, what you are saying is 100% right, but it's not necessarily what I was asking of you. What I was asking from you is to explain what I just explained, to explain this step. Remember, we just have a lot of answers. Now, what you are going to do is to go through answers and now create new questions from the answers. And the manner is you ask the first question, what are we really doing by doing this? The answer is given. Antoinette gave us the answer. Now I ask the question, what are we really doing by doing this? Now we start answering what are we really doing. One of the answers is we are engaging customers. That is an answer. Then you follow up question is, how else can we engage our customers? What I want, I just want to make sure that everyone is on the same page in terms of understanding this step, because there's many things that you are doing. Becky, jump in there. Lindy, please come back and explain this step.
I am here. I think I took the wrong offering, so I'm trying to find the right route back.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Let me think. Yeah.
Okay, so remember, before we got to this step, we had asked the question using the random word. Now we have an answer. The answer is, ask how your customers can achieve more with your product or service. That is the answer. Now I'm saying we take this answer and ask this question, what are we really doing when we are doing this? That's an additional step, right? Then you have another answer to say, we are engaging customers. That's the next question after that one, a follow-up is, how else can we engage customers? The reason I'm repeating this many times, I know for the first time, it's easy not to get it right. It's because there are many things involved. And that's why I want someone else to explain it. Then I'll be satisfied that we got it. Dineo, I'm picking up on you. Can you explain this process before we come up with? Yes, Becky, please.
Yeah, I had to move around because there was a lot of background noise. But the way I understand it is, after answering the random question, after answering the question with the random word, then you ask yourself, what is it that I'm doing? And as you explained very well, it is, I'm engaging people. Therefore, is there any other way I can engage people? For instance, in this case, how you engaged your customers was you asked them. But now, is there another way I can engage them? Maybe I can send them emails, regular emails, so that I talk to them, then they can answer back the emails. Or I can send them educational emails to just keep them engaged. So you are probing deeper on the process that you are on, and probing deeper to see if are there other ways to achieve the same results by doing the same process. Yeah, by coming up with another process.
That's correct. And what will happen now when you are doing this? Because remember, from the first question, we have 100 answers. Now we are going to multiply our answers. What we are doing, we are getting more ideas. The reason behind ideation is to get as many ideas as possible. because sometimes you think something is a stupid idea. Guess what? It's actually the best idea. So we don't discriminate ideas. We just keep answering, giving ideas. And then at the end, we evaluate all these ideas. We can either vote for the best one or whatever the case may be. So, but what we are doing now on this step, we are taking each and every solution and expand it. We are expanding it. And when we expand it, we even forget about the random word. It's a new question. And if the question is big enough, we can start the same tool on that question. So we can come up with a random word for this question and answer it following the same step. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yes, no? Yes, thanks, Lindiwe. Now, we have these answers that we are now interrogating to come up with more ideas, and we can use the same tool to continue generating more ideas. This is what this step is about. We are interrogating our ideas now. Each and every idea that we come up with, we can interrogate it. We ask this question: what are we really doing here? And some ideas will be very simple, some will be complex. And the complex ideas, you can apply the same tool to complex ideas. The simple ideas, you can just take them as simple, right? And it ends there. You don't have to interrogate it further. And that's the tool called random entry. Before we go into the group assignment, which will take about 10 minutes, I just want us to go back to the question that we started with. The question was, rate yourself in terms of creativity. Now the question comes differently. With this tool in your toolbox, would you say your creativity will go a little bit up? Will it remain the same? Will it go down? I'm expecting everyone to type something on the chat, either up, the same, down. Up, the same, down. I'm asking the question again. Given the two tools that we shared now, would your creativity rating that you gave yourself in the beginning go up, remain the same, or go down? Okay, I'm seeing up, I'm waiting for the same, and down, up, up, up. Okay, I take that the tools are awesome. Now what we are going to do now, let's come up with another challenge. And now this challenge, we are going to solve it using any of the tools that we learned here. I'm going to break you into 3 random groups. You don't know who you'll be in a group with, and then you are going to solve this problem. After 10 minutes, I will give you, your team leader, a 1-minute presentation just to share your solution, but we are going to solve the same problem. Can we just get one person to type a problem that we are going to solve in groups in the next 10 minutes? Any problem? Okay, I'm going to share a problem. There is the problem. I've shared a question on chat. I'm going to say it again loud. How may we help partners communicate better? This is the problem that we are going to solve in our random groups. I'm going to create 3 random groups. It will be about 4 people per group. You are going to decide on your group leader and work 10 minutes to solve this question. How may we help partners communicate better. After 10 minutes, we'll come back to this main room. And then what will happen is your team leader will come and give us a 1-minute presentation, and then we will wrap up the session. How is that? Let's hear your voices. How is that? Everyone aligned? Is everyone aligned? I've created the rooms. Just accept, go into the rooms. You have 10 minutes to come up with solutions using the tools that we've learned. And then we're going to gather. We are just going to be 5 minutes over time, but that will be it. I'm sending you to the rooms now. What you need to do is to accept the invite to the rooms. Harry, Makatlela, Monde, and Tinei, you still need to join the rooms. Lindiwe is waiting for you.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Monde. I need you to accept the room invite. I've sent you to the breakout rooms. I need you to accept and then solve that question. Makatlela and Monde, they are waiting for you in your team. Mr. Turo, I'm just going to the rooms and checking the guys. I'll be back. I'm just going to
All
the
right,
room.
how?
Yeah, I'll just go to the rooms and check the guys how they're doing. We about 5 minutes to go. I'll just check on them how they're doing. Okay, yeah, no, I've been to the rooms. There was actually one room where the participants were not active. What I've done was just to reassign them to different rooms. We only have about 2 minutes to close off the breakout rooms. We'll be a little bit out of time. Is that fine, Mr. Tsuro, for now?
It is all right for as long as people are benefiting. So go ahead.
Okay, okay, but I'm going to send them a message to wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah, to wrap up, and then we have a minute left. Yeah, I've sent a message to the rooms. Otherwise, how did you find the session so far?
I'm enjoying it, especially how tough it is it shows that it really forces us to think, which is an essential skill that we need to get used to and more often. I actually was thinking to myself, I think we need to do this more often to just stretch those thinking brains.
Yeah, so actually the thing is we need to get into that habit of thinking intentionally. And the tool, because it's systematic, it helps us to get into that. You know what you are going to do after, like it has steps. It's not random. You are not
Right.
you are not necessarily stressing, you are actually thinking. And that's why I like this tool. I think it's an awesome tool.
Yeah, no, I noticed it. I realized, okay, this is stretching us more than we have ever been used to. So something that I'm like, I think I need to, get into the mode of always applying that principle in my thinking.
Yeah. So I mean, the first one it's checkbox. I think it was more easier to go through, but the second one, yeah, it is stretching. It is stretching. I mean, I've been using the tool for some time, but if I take a month or two without using the tool, it's like I'm resetting the button.
Yeah, I get you. I think that's why I think for me, the very first thought that came into my mind is this: you need to be applying on a consistent basis whenever almost like having a brainstorming session every week or something to just keep you involved and engaged.
Yeah. So what other companies are doing, I know 3M is one of such companies. They will have a policy where they say once a week, just go and think. You are not expected to deliver like your normal deliverance. The only condition is that you after that one day, just come and tell us what you thought of. That is the only condition. So you are given that challenge to go and be creative, and that actually improves the quality of the products that we can give as an organization. Just to think, just to have some time to think.
Yeah, because we never give ourselves time to think, eh? So I do believe that when you now eventually have the opportunity to think, it does stretch you a little bit to then offer much more value because you have put thought into it.
Yeah. So I'm bringing everyone back to the room.
Awesome. I'll let you continue. I'll mute myself.
Yeah, in the next 60 seconds, they'll be coming back. In the next 50 seconds now. Though some people left when we went to the breakout rooms, but we still have, I think, 8 people that will be joining us now.
All right, no problem. I think some are on Facebook, so it's okay.
Okay, cool. It's 25 seconds to go. So we'll just get the two guys to present quickly, and then feedback, wrap up. That's it. It took
fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Just 30 seconds, how did it feel? Let's just hear for 30 seconds, how did it feel? Dineo, yes.
It was too short.
It was too
Way
short.
too short. Yes.
Yeah, you brought us back when it was starting to be exciting.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I thought the excitement was over. Now you are like, when are we going back? When are we going back? Now, what we are going to do, you know, the team leaders, what you have done, just share in 2 minutes, not more than 2 minutes. You give us your solution. If maybe you have not reached solutions yet, it's okay. Just tell us how it went in the room, you know, the kind of challenges that you had, because it was the first time you meet as a team. That would definitely be a challenge. I don't know who are the team leaders are, but if you know that you are the team leader, you need to report back. Just jump in and give us a quick 2 minutes.
Okay, I'll go.
Yes.
Okay, the question was, how may we help partners communicate better? And then the random word we chose there was actively. Now at first we put that word on here. How may we help partners actively communicate better, right? And then we asked the second question was, how may we actively help partners communicate better? I'm not sure if you understand the difference between the two questions, but I'm going to carry on just to save time. So we came up with a couple of ways. Create an environment that allows partners to communicate. A conducive environment. Obviously, that poses a question: how do you do that? And then actively asking partners, run a short survey to partners, and then understanding every partner's communicating style as well. We'd have to do that, and have regular meetings as partners, right? Then we ask a question: what is it that we are really doing? And we realized that we were actually getting an understanding of all the partners in this process. And then just before you brought us, we were about to ask ourselves, how else can we get an understanding of all the partners? I took the liberty to answer that question on my way back to the main room and said, one of the things we could do was to create social sessions where partners get to interact with each other and talk to each other under social circumstances where everyone is relaxed.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Your 2 minutes is up. Sorry for cutting you. Your 2 minutes is up. Just one comment.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Just one comment there. When you asked the how, the first question, feedback there, you didn't ask it right. You're supposed to ask it in this manner. How may we use then the random word? How may we use the random word and then that question? Because you want to use the random word. The random word has to be a tool that you are using to solve that problem. So if your random word is tool, how may we use tool to help partners communicate better? But the answers that you came with are awesome. They're great contributions. Just next time when you do it, ask that question that way. How may we use the random word? How may we use the random word to solve the problem? Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Becky, for the feedback from your team. Let's hear the other team leader.
Okay, I was with team 3.
Yes.
Our random word was creativity.
Mm-hmm.
So our question was, how may we use creativity to solve the problem of communication between the partners?
Okay.
And so, well, we said that perhaps we can, instead of allowing the partners to communicate face-to-face, perhaps we can ask them to go into separate rooms and write the problems as they see it, and then swap papers with another partner so that the partner can see the problem from their perspective. And then we asked, what are we really doing? What are we really achieving by doing this? And then we said we are helping them to learn a different way of communicating and not using maybe the method that they would ordinarily use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And then I think before you went to the other one, I cut you, because the other question would be, how else can we have them learn new ways of communicating? How else? Yeah, so you followed the steps.
Okay, yes. Yeah, no, okay. So yes, we did talk about that, to say how else may we help them, and we said, and we actually came up with a synonym, and then we used the word brainstorm. So we just thought that maybe if we allow them to brainstorm, then that would help. Yeah.
Okay. No, thanks. So what I'm going to do, just from the other groups, because there were other members there, one member from Becky's group and one member from your group, I will say X, one member from Becky's group, one member from X group. Just say, how did you feel of the whole process? You can just say one word or two words or just a sentence. How did you feel going through that process? Not you, X, but someone from your team.
Okay.
Someone from X team, someone from Becky's team, jump in. How did the process feel? Okay, X, maybe jump, represent your team. How did it feel?
Okay, sorry, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Loud and
okay. It was a good process. I think initially, probably the first 2 minutes, we were trying to settle on a word to use. And what I enjoyed about it is that every member in the group actually contributed. So that was great. So even though we didn't really know each other, but yeah, the teamwork just came together and worked well together. So it was great.
Oh, nice. Lovely, lovely. Thank you very much. Let's hear anyone from...
Maud, put it on the chat there.
Okay, Maud, please speak. I would like to hear your voice. I'll also read the chat.
Thank you very much, Khao. I found that the more we got into the ideas, the more the ideas started flowing. So I truly enjoyed the process, and doing it in groups. Someone would say something and then an idea would spark within you and we would bounce off that ideas. So I really enjoyed it.
Oh, lovely, lovely. I'm going to share something now on the group, on the chat. It's a link, right? It's a link to an open ideation or innovation challenge that is ongoing now. I would like to challenge you to consider partaking in this innovation challenge, just to try also to not stop using the tool now, but to continue using the tool. So it becomes part of your, day-to-day. So there's a challenge that is happening by an organization called Open IDEO. Open IDEO. IDEO is a company that specializes or offer organization solutions that are called design thinking. I don't know if you know design thinking. It's another way to solve customer challenges. It's one tool that a company called Apple uses a lot, where you create customer-oriented solutions. So they have a platform where they encourage people to innovate. And this one is particularly to solve the COVID-19 challenge. So I would challenge you to consider taking on this challenge and see if you can use these tools and share with Andrew, and maybe Andrew will share with me what you are doing with regard to that. I would like to hear what you have submitted, those kind of ideas, if the tool is helping. And I'm also sharing my number to say anytime you can drop me a message to say, hey, I'm doing this kind of an idea or this kind of a challenge. I would like to hear the ideas that will spring out of this kind of workshop. I think this was an awesome workshop. I would also like to hear what you think about it after what I'm just saying now. I'm just wrapping up. But what I'm going to say is, guys, there are tools. This is just tools, but there are tools out there that you can use to come up with ideas. There are tools that you can use to strategize. We always hear companies saying we are going for a strategy session or we are going out to think as an organization. So there are actually tools out there. There's a book called Thinker Twice. Thinker Twice. It has over 100 tools. These tools are also found in that book and many other tools that you can use as a person just to think, to come up with ideas. I've enjoyed the session. I'm just going to open up for anyone to jump in anytime to just also give feedback. What did you love about this session? What do you think we can do better next time if we run a session like this? I'll respond to you, Becky. Anyone jump in, just give us feedback. How did the session go for you? What did you enjoy? What can we do better next time? And then after that, we'll hand over to Andrew.
Thank you very much, Khao. I found the session to be very enjoyable. It sparked creativity in me. I joined a bit late, and then when we went into the breakout rooms and we started engaging, everything just started coming and we bounced ideas off each other. So I really enjoyed that part of it. What we could do better is, can we have this a bit more often? Is that possible?
It is possible. It is possible. Thanks. Thanks for the feedback. Someone else, one last person. One last person.
I also just want to say that we're all stuck in lockdown and it feels like our ideas are also on lockdown. So to have a session like this really gets one thinking, almost like a design thinker. So thank you very much for sparking that creativity. I'm actually going to go and play with this tool now just so that I can just keep the momentum going. Thanks, Khao.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone that joined the session. Andrew, I'm going to hand over to you to do your final remarks and officially close off the session. Thanks.
Thank you, Gaoretelelwe Molebalwa, for that great workshop. I found myself thinking how often I would use this, at what instances and so forth. So thank you very much for that, for facilitating this workshop. And thanks to everyone who joined us, both on this Zoom platform and those that were connecting live on Facebook. For those that connected live on Facebook, they missed out on an opportunity to participate in the breakout rooms, and hence I would recommend the next time we do this, hint, hint, the next time we do something like this, you would be able to join us in this Zoom back door so that you are able to participate and benefit fully out of this program. Again, much appreciation to you, Khao, for taking your time out to share your skills and expertise on this with us. And I hope it was beneficial to those that participated. There is a link that I've just posted on the chat box there. Please feel free, and I really plead that you submit your written feedback here. It helps us to see what else would be useful for you. So share with us any feedback, and you can also do so via our WhatsApp line that we were communicating this workshop with to you. As we continue with our learning, there will be our next course, or our next masterclass is coming up this Friday, the 1st of May, at 1800 hours, and we are talking about digital marketing, and our facilitators are excited to share with you how you can grow your business by getting new customers on a daily basis using digital marketing. And I hope you too will be joining in, share this far and wide.
get connected and let us keep in touch. I hope this was very valuable to you, and let's keep in touch going forward. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. It was awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.